Hey, how's it, Laker Nation? Cowboy Buzz here. How you doing? So this is part 4 of LeBron James' time with the Lakers. So coming into the 2022 season after missing the playoffs, there were footnotes talks, you know, the chemistry between LeBron, AD, and Russ. Um, can the Lakers make the playoffs again? That was all footnote talk, you know. But the late, but in the ESPN and all the sports media want to talk about was LeBron, you know, breaking the all-time scoring record, which was held previously by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest Lakers of all time, a Laker five-time champion. It is a very very prestigious record, very part of the NBA history, but LeBron James wasn't brought here to break a freaking record, you know. And before you get on me about that all that shit, Emmitt Smith is the all-time rushing leader for the Cowboys. I'm a Cowboys fan. He's one of my favorite players. He helped bring three Super Bowl titles. But by that time, the Cowboys sucked. So that was the only thing we're talking about. I would rather have Emmitt Smith, because there was guys like Darren Woodson and Larry Allen on the team. I would love to have them. The only thing we're talking about was the record. Was the breaking of the record. But I would rather, and that's why I don't talk about it that much. I'm happy for Emmett. I was so happy when that moment between him and Moose Johnson, but that's about it. And again, you know what? That's why with LeBron, that's why it's like we traded for AD. The one capital. He won the title. No, that's one title. Look at how much we trade away for to get AD. You gotta be a perennial contender, at least. That's the least, but you gotta win though. Then you trade Russ, which ends up being one of the come to find out was even more of a shit or bullshit move to help to supposedly help LeBron. Because you trade away another first round pick, you ruin a man's career and all that. So. But anyway, they're still talking about when he gonna break the tie. When he gonna break them. What game he wants to do it in crypto. So what if he has a great scoring game, and the next game is on the road? What they gonna do? Somebody um, somebody posted that, and I said, he's not here for breaking tie. What if they're on a road trip? Oh, you're such a freaking hater. You always criticize LeBron. I go, bruh, it's about winning. It's not about breaking a fucking stupid record, bruh. I didn't mean it in that way, but at the same time too, it's like, championships, records, bruh. I'm a Lakers fan, bruh. Championships always gonna come first. So yeah. So they convinced Russ to get off the bench. They convinced him, whatever, he can run the second unit. But it's just all about getting around more possessions. But he's still being scapegoated. AD started taking blame. Other players was getting blamed. They say, LeBron is trying his best. Look at his stats. Look at his stats. But then, yet the Lakers did lose. Lakers are struggling. Then the game against the Thunder when he finally broke the record. Right before he broke the record, the Lakers were getting their ass handed to them. And then he breaks the record. AD standing on the side like he's kind of pissed off because he knows like, we're getting our ass handed to us. And then instead of focusing on that lost the game, no, they focused on AD, not on his hands and knees, praising LeBron and all that, And then Russell Westbrook again, all that talk about getting scapegoated. Now you know that Russell Westbrook was only there to be there to attack, while LeBron James just stat pads his way to getting that record. So they trade him away, which basically ruined his career because he got bought out. He gets to sign. From now on he has to sign veteran minimums and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah. So he gets his career ruined because of LeBron, which is the most shady move, because he was gonna be scapegoated. So you trade away for a guy to be your scapegoat to sabotage the team basically, to trade away more future assets for that for you breaking a stupid record. Yeah. Then and because the Lakers are struggling, now no more Russell Westbrook, you traded him away. So now you need something else to make an excuse why the Lakers not gonna win that year. Oh, I have the worst foot injury. Oh my God, doctor said it's the worst foot injury. All his media dumb shits was saying it was the worst foot injury that the doctors ever said they saw. And then so Austin Reeves, Rui, now they retire Rui because of the Russell Westbrook trade. You know, they start showing signs. D'Lo still contributing, AD still looking good. All of a sudden they get on a roll. Then all of a sudden, LeBron James is the greatest healer of all time, man. He healed so great. The doctors never seen a recovery like that. So they make the play-in tournament, the play-in, which is funny. Is like LeBron James talks shit about it, but then now it's in his benefit because the Lakers because in any other year they would have missed the playoffs. So this is the third year that the Lakers could have made the playoffs. So they get into the play-in tournament, and they go on one of the most overrated Western Conference runs that I ever seen. Because once they played against the real team, they was like, oh look, see you haters, they gonna get into the Western Conference Finals. Okay. Watch when they. It was even. I mean, how can you even say you're a contender when you get swept 4-0? You know. LeBron James, one of his best 3-point shooting percentage years ever. You know, has one of the worst 3-point shooting. In his career as well. So the next year, oh, LeBron needs help. LeBron needs this. LeBron needs that. Bro, we're not And then I was like, we're not trading away any more of that bullshit. Bro, we're not trading nothing because we're not winning nothing with you. You done, bro. You done. You suck. Get out. Leave LA, bro. Don't extend them. Don't do nothing. Get them out of LA. Find a way to trade away AD or something. Whatever. And then the Lakers was, and because the Lakers didn't do any major moves, Adam Silver had to find a way to get some, because they knew he was going to win, so they had to come with some bullshit way to get LeBron something to the game, to get another accolade. So they create the in-season tournament, the Cup Championship. And, and LeBron fans was like, oh, he's trying to help make sure that his teammates get paid for it and all that because the ratings were so bad. This is kind of like an incentive. It's like another regular season game that has no outcome, nothing to it, and then you guys tell me, oh, it's because of the money. When you guys ruin Russell Westbrook's money making abilities, to market himself. And then when the trading line comes up, oh, Rui and Austin Reeves is on the thing. They shed on them on the whole time. And then they say, oh no, you can get value for that. Who are you gonna get value then? You're not getting a big name player. So see how dumb their focus is and all that. Oh, I never say Austin Reeves was that bad. It's so stupid, I tell you. So they make it back to the play-in, and then they lose. They get in, and then they lose. Then Nick Wright goes, "Oh, I'd rather play the Nuggets now." Oh yeah, you get 4-1. Well, not a first round exit. Wow. And like I said, and every year I say the same thing. LeBron, you're not winning jack shit with LeBron. It's over. Get him out of LA already. Anyway, that's my video. Mahalo for watching, Laker Nation. Aloha.